That's where Laser Trident shines. It just.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mega May. We still got some more Mega Man action for you this morning. Hope you're wide awake, because if you're not, this run's going to do it for you. We got the Mega Man X, X2, and X3 damage shuffler with Smight. It's gonna be a great one. Smight, I'll let you take it away.
Hey, so we're doing a thing that my buddy Author Blues Bersentia had made, where damage shuffles the game randomly into a pile, and our pile this time is X1, 2, and 3. So we're starting with X2 just by pure randomness here, and I'm going to be setting the dash to R on each of them, but other than that, I'm just jumping in. Let's do it. 3 hours is probably... I can speedrun X2 pretty good, the other two not so much, but it ends up, because of the damage shuffling, I can't do a lot of the tricks that you would want to do, so we end up with a pretty different run of just dodging damage. Are we all set to start?
Ready to go.
Here we go. I'll be trying to evade quite a bit here, just because it does. I don't know that it saves time to dodge damage all the time, but it's less confusing when I do. But as an example of a trick I can think of off the top of my head that I can't do in this run, especially this game, the health pack, the heart container for Wheel Gator, I usually take damage to grab it while I'm in the stage, and since you can't really take damage and use the iframes in this, I'll have to come back for that one. So that's gonna add like 2 minutes just in itself of tedium. I'll have to come back with the full buster and the fire to do the dash. I can't take the damage off the wall. Tricks like that are not great for the speedrun aspect of this, so we end up with a different bunch of strategies. Bunch of strategies. And also X has Vile, who is very, very annoying for this because he's guaranteed to hit me 10 times. So we'll see X for a while in the intro stage. The other games don't have that. And then I'm just plain not good at X3, so I've gotten better at it, but pretty limited skill set for that game, so that's going to be the slow one for me anyway. For that game, I'm definitely going to be going for the sword, and for X2, I will grab everything and grab the uppercut, but I don't really need the Hadouken in this game. It's easy enough. I can just skip grinding for that. That would add a lot of time, so this is going to be any percent, and X2 will be 100%. And so will X3, I guess. But we have so many games in the support for this thing. I've run 200 at once, and a lot of them are Mega Man. Mega Man was the start of it, so it is like the original damage shuffler content. So all of the mainline Mega Man games are in this. All the Game Boy games. I think the DS games, the Zero games are in there. Wow, what a jerk. There are stats per game on how I'm doing in terms of like how many times have I been hit, what's the shuffle total time. We can look at those when I'm done real quick, but I suspect that X will be done first, X2, and then once those two are done, we'll be just working on X3 by itself, probably for 5 minutes. That's probably what's gonna happen. Happy to bring in the 4 a.m. morning run for y'all. Yeah. I don't have the ridiculous speedrunner skills that many people do have in these super well-studied games. But I am good enough at this one to get something like 45-minute time normally if it weren't shuffling. My boss order might not be perfect, but it works for me. I don't have any surprises coming because of the way I do it. I will have to get every single item, though, to get the uppercut in this, and it's too good to skip. Even if things don't go great for me, it still saves a ton of time. I guess the only question is, should I rescue Zero? And that is a burden. Those guys are very obnoxious in the shuffler. But they wouldn't win. I would still have enough resources to take them out. So it's not a huge problem. Just slower. X3 appears. This game is, like I was saying, the one I know the least. I don't really have a great plan for this one. My order doesn't make any sense, probably. I think originally I was having so much trouble with this game that the order I ended up with was getting the armor as fast as possible so that I could start winning. I don't really need the armor anymore, but that's still kind of like the way I go. So I start with Blizzard, and then I move to through Tunnel Rhino in those stages. Honestly, getting the armor takes so long that it's just a really bad way to go about it. It's like 6 stages before you can. You have to have the Buster charge up, so you have to have the drill, so you, and then you have to have the gravity well. Any damage I take in X right now, it's fine. It's not really gonna slow me down. Vile's gonna have to punch me many times anyway. Our first actual boss, Wire Sponge. I'm sure it's extremely common knowledge, but in this game, and 1, but not 3, unfortunately, if you dash, your regular lemon turns into a 2 damage projectile, which I'll be using a lot. It is possible to kill him before he lightnings up, but I didn't sync it up. And we got our little boss tracker down there to measure who we've killed, and it's time to mark off Wire Sponge. His chain is a very useful tool. I don't really need it for the jump that I'll be doing in Wheel Gators next, but it's nice to have. It makes it much easier. It's almost the only reason why I go there first. I know the speedrunners who really want the best absolute time possible use the chain constantly. I don't really do that because dodging damage is more important to me, so I find it hard to do that when I'm using the chain all the time. I probably will kill 2 or 3 bosses in this before I get to a Chill Penguin, because Vile is gonna force me out of that game many times before I can even move. I missed the jump. This one jump is it's always fun when I nail it in 1, but now I'm having trouble with it. There we go. Getting this Buster upgrade is super nice early on, just essential skill to get. That jump is ridiculous. It's the first wall that you run into when you try to get a good time in this game, because you have to have this. You can't skip this. This is the best buster, in my opinion, in all 8 games. You have to get it. It makes everything nice. It ignores iframes on the second left-hand shot. And the weapon power-ups it does are also nice. Just too good. So like I said, you can do it without the chain. It's even harder without it. And here's the health pack I'm going to have to skip, because I would normally take a shot from that guy and run up the spike wall. But because that is very, very tight. So add in the shuffling from the damage, and there's no human way that you're going to get that here in this environment. So I'm going to have to skip it. And it feels bad because it's my instinct to get it right now. But I will have to come back in because I need it. I have to have all 100% items here. So we'll be seeing Will Gator again in a bit. Probably about 20 minutes of X2 time. Chase that car. This... I think that we could probably figure out a way for Vile to not shuffle you, but it's kind of funny. We just left it that way. It's worse than the second one because we have way more health. It takes a long time for him to barrel through us. But with only 3 games in the shuffler, it won't be so bad. He's already got me pretty low. And this guy, Mac, has never been more dangerous in his life than when I can't get a hang of the fight because I'm shuffling in and out of the battle. He's got a crappy little machine gun that hits the whole screen, basically, and normally you don't care. It's 1 damage, but he can prevent me using my sword if he's lucky, and then I won't be able to kill him very quickly at all. Oop. We can try to use the chain on Will Gator, but more likely I'm just going to use the buster here. Ideally, I could pull off the chain timing. It's tight. We'll see about it. I missed already. You have to dash right away. Has to be perfect. So Will Gator uses iframes too, a lot of them, for his little shots there. He's doing it right now, when he's trying to eat the bullets. But he cannot block the second buster shot, so it still does so much damage to him that this doesn't take very long, compared to the weakness chain. It's not as good, but it's acceptable. It's 2. Won't even see the other bosses before X2's already well into it. I think we used to have Mac hitting X as a switch. And I don't know who turned that off because I thought it was funny too. The time that Proto Man shoots you in Mega Man 5 does count, the one that's in a cutscene. Also, while we were setting up, I was reminded that the cutscenes where X takes damage also shuffle. We head into Bubble Crab next. I'm going to ignore those guys. we go. Heart tank. If I can sneak past the submarine, that would be great. There is a sub tank up here that, to get it, you need to actually walk, not run, to get a weird high jump. I didn't quite land it there, but for some reason, if you're walking on that slope, just regular style, you get more height, and you can grab that right now. Normally, I guess, you're supposed to tediously come back here with Bubble Crab's super upgrade weapon with the Buster. Problem with the sub is it causes a bunch of latency, making this even harder. But it's a really easy jump, actually. I don't know why I'm missing it. I'm sure we'll be fine there. That's another scary thing, is anytime you are shuffling over a pit. But X has a lot of cool mobility, so unlike maybe the Game Boy games, I can usually recover in that situation. Here's Mac. I should have come in with the sword charged, to be quite honest, so that I could easily finish him off. Now I'm going to have to always be holding the Buster to make sure it's charging when I reappear in there. At last, a boss. I'm not really sure what would be a problem in X. I think the only thing is the Sigma fight, and that's true in like every one of these games for me. Sometimes I just can't land it. I've not struggled very much with Sigma X1 lately, but X2 Sigma makes me mad because it's a tight window to get the uppercut, and I feel like I've failed if I don't get that. The quick kill, the easy one. He's the easiest one, for sure. And phase 1 can be hard to land that on. Oops. X3 Sigma, I have no idea how to fight. I use the sword to win, like a coward. And I don't know. I don't know what I would do without it. I always come in with a bunch of sub-tanks too. Dash acquire. Oh my. So at MagFest, they had a really interesting challenge for Mega Man X2. That would was it even just I think it might have been more than just X2, but X2's was your health bar shared across all 8 Robot Masters, and you have to take them all out with just the Buster. Buster dueling, some of these bosses I'm unfamiliar with, so I had to learn more about Bubble Crab than I cared to know. One thing is that he will always stop what he's doing and try to hit you with his uppercut shoulder blade thing. He just turns them on and jumps straight up no matter what, if you jump over his head. So you can control him that way. And the wheel cuts through his bubble, but even if you don't have the wheel, his cutting through the bubble with his shoulder blades is the fast way to do it. That was a very hard challenge. Morph Moth and Bubble Crab and Crystal Snail, all very hard to Buster duel. Annoying. Chill Penguin. Still working on the intro stage in X3, that's not surprising. It is the longest one, too. But obviously, if I could dodge damage better, it wouldn't be a thing. Because even if it takes 20 minutes, the only reason why I'm shuffling in this currently is taking a hit. Just for safety's sake, because it only takes 20 or 30 seconds, I might go into Quanger's stage. Well, not. I might go into Spark Mandrill's stage later and grab the sub-tank there. But getting it right now would be out of order so far. Generally, since I'm not going for 100% in this game, I skip a lot of it, but I don't need to skip most of it. I take the time to grab like the heart tank to the left here. I'm just gonna be missing the heart tank and Chill Penguins, and Quanger's probably because that jump is a little tough for me, and I'm not gonna go back with the full Buster charge just to get it. We'll have all 4 sub-tanks, though, if I grab the one from Spark Mandrills later. And I'll have all 4 upgrades for armor. Heart tanks are much less of a concern, I think. So if you do this right, you can get him to stay in place where the blade is, and he'll just get hit by it again and again. Yeah, we debated if the mech armor damage should count or not. The ride armor, and it's got its own health bar in all of these games usually. It was just kind of obnoxious because all the sections that have ride armor in it are almost impossible to evade damage in, so we decided it was less annoying to not count them, which was the way it was already. Like, we would have had to do extra effort to make them count. And it seemed like it was just worse for doing so. Especially in Extreme 2, I think it is. The ride armor in that game. Whole sections of almost guaranteed damage. Our third boss. Fourth, actually. He's in a diving mood. X is caught up to X2. I'll be doing Spark Mandrill because fighting Armadillo without Spark is awful. Definitely want to do that correctly. Okay, Mac. What a jerk. He's getting away with it, man. He's doing exactly what I was afraid of. Oh, crab's down. We've got a Flame Stag next. I might bite the bullet and just take Mac out with regular Buster Shots. Trying to charge the sword is not probably going to happen. And I'll try to dodge his shooting while it happens too. He's going to hit me a couple more times though if I do that. In this game, the only bosses that I can't dodge at all are Violin. But it's mostly the X Hunters, really. Their first iterations. Violin's second iteration is ridiculous. I don't know that you can actually evade it in any way, shape, or form. Like you're going to take a hit there, but you can just stand there and win also. So at the same time. And then Surge's is really annoying. Technically possible to do his first phase with no damage, but it is maybe the worst retro achievement in this game. His second phase is a famously annoying boss. Getting through here without damage is a little tricky. Oh, I missed! Saw Mac for a second. Hey, Mac. All right. Stopping these guys from lighting these isn't. They're just positioned in a really annoying way, so not always the easiest thing. And hitting Flame Stag without taking damage while using his weakness. The problem is hard to define. It's weird. It's because the bubbles cause some kind of input problem where you can't jump, so you have to be careful about how you shoot them. This is the method. This is the way to do it. if you just stand there and shoot him and then try to jump, you might not be allowed to jump for some reason. I don't know why. Something about 4 bubbles on the screen. But that only happens in this fight, so we're not worried about it ever again. Poor Robot Masters into X2. Still don't have the intro stage done in X3. That's really normal stuff, though, for me. And Mac is the problem. If I didn't get hit by him, we would be further along. I'll start making some headway in that game soon. He shoots 8 shots out of that machine gun that he has. If I had preloaded the sword, maybe things would be different. I will have to come back to this stage as well. There is a method that I'd never have learned to shoot your buster and get a second jump in the air to get the heart tank up there. Without doing that, I'm going to have to come back with the crystal power. It takes the entire game to charge this up. Every time you get hit, it gets a little bit of energy. If I get hit enough, and I usually do, it'll be ready for Surge's Part 2, and I'll use it there. Otherwise, I won't use it at all. I wanted that energy, so oh well. Mac's dead! That's very exciting. He still got me though, one more time on the way out. What a jerk. He did half of my life bar. He's never been more lethal, like I said. That's the best he'll ever do against anybody. Outrageous. If Capcom was running tests and that was the player they were watching, they'd be shaking their heads. Wow! I didn't expect that. I was gonna say I probably won't get hit there, but I almost spoke too soon. I need to get away from the center. Full charge a wheel, then to bubble. Kill this thing instantly. I couldn't resist picking that up. Just had to have it. That thing that grabbed my head controls my movements a little bit. I'm doing so bad in X3, just worse than usual. Not even dodging at all. Alright, Spark Mandrill. Nice dodge, man. That was well done. If you want to kill him as fast as possible, the moment he unfreezes, you can get another shot on him, but it won't freeze him if you do that. Which makes him able to hit me at all. Spark Mandrill gets a bad rap. He's not hard, but he's not free if you don't bring freeze. But everybody brings freeze, because then you'll have dash. I guess we could do Flame Mammoth. I like to have the fire for the big tanks. I don't really have a good time to do Flame Mammoth. It's after Storm Eagle, and that's all that really matters, because then I'll have the helmet upgrades. I don't care if I succeed in the jump for the arm here. I'll get it for free later. I definitely want the Buster upgrade, but you can't miss it in this game. And I don't really need it for any of the Robot Master stages at all. So if I mess this up, I don't care. I don't usually, but I think I did this time. There we go. We'll get it early, and then Zero has no gift for us. But I don't really think it's going to do much for me, like I said. It's okay. It's an okay Buster upgrade, but it's not really bringing any power that I didn't already have. The main reasons I care about it are for Sting Chameleon's immune, and Armadillo's immune. They both give you a shield of some sort, and they're both really nice. Oops. I think I'm lost in that game. That happens sometimes. It takes me a second to get my bearings when I get shuffled, and it's been a while since I've seen where I'm going, and I'm in some tunnel somewhere. Cannot remember if I was going left or right. I think I was going left towards the ladder to go back around to the right. Filling up the sub-tanks in this game is a tedious thing, so when I can, definitely want to grab that energy. I'll feel more comfortable going into Sigma if I have filled up the tanks, so I'll be doing that later. If things go sideways, 4 full heals will do. I don't think that the full charge even does anything extra here. Maybe it does? I don't know. I think my boss order that I usually do in this game is wrong, and I changed it and fixed it this time. I usually wait way too long to kill Flame Mammoth, don't have the Buster upgrade. I'll be able to get the Heart Tank in Kawanger stage with the ice easily for having done this stage first. And actually succeeding in getting the Buster. Let's do Armadillo. X is caught up to X2 again. It's going to be a race between those two. And then a casual run of X3 on the side. Because why not? Oop. Yeah, I was definitely going left there. Where is X3? It's been a while. If I'm not mistaken, fire is the weakness for this thing. Yeah, sure is. I don't think it's true in this game, but in a lot of the other games, if you use ice, it's a secret better way to get health energy. It just causes health energy to drop more. It actually does, like, objective fact. Especially in X3, almost every single time you use ice, you will get a health drop. I landed badly. Okay, made it through the hallway finally. That was not great. And X3 decided not to show up again during any of that. Oops. Fighting Morph Moth with the Buster was one of the scarier things, but I did actually learn him pretty good from that. I've had trouble with him in the past. His contact damage is some of the highest in the series. It's probably like... It feels like Ganon's punching Link levels of damage. Like, it's so much. He's a moth. I don't know why it's so high, but it is. So we're not going to let him touch this. And the full charge Buster Fire Shot does do a lot more damage than the regular one, so I'll be hitting him with that too. His powder, his moth dust, it can't reach the corner here. His laser can though. More than a third done with the Robot Masters. Not a single contribution from X3 yet. I was considering adding X4 into the pile today, but those ones are much longer games. It would have given X3 some company though, just because it's a longer game. It would have just been there. I find the PlayStation ones very hard to dodge. You're gonna take way more hits in those games. Chop register. It's weak to Silk Shot. It's hit with some garbage. I missed a little bit. That's more like what you expect from this boss. It doesn't actually seem to know you're there. So, I mean, that's difficult because how do you evade something when it's not actually aiming for you? But, he should have hit me 4 times. We're finally done with the intro stage. Try not to take too many hits in this, so we can do some catching up. Blizzard Buffalo is first. After that, I have like 6 options. I don't really know which one's the best. I hate the Buster upgrade in this game. If I didn't have to get it, I probably would skip it on purpose. I don't like it at all. Oops. I should grab that. Oh well. So because I hate the Buster upgrade, its only value is the upgrade shots that it does, which is okay. Most of those are pretty fine. I have to get it to get some of the stuff. Oh. There we go. Get a lot of spotlights going in there. How are y'all enjoying the Mega May marathon? What's your have you seen any new games that you haven't seen before? Yeah, let's do this next. That's fine. There's a couple of enemies in this stage that are a little surprising to dodge. Not that one. I just was slow on the shot. And I hit so many spotlights on X2 that I'm going to get hit a bunch there as I go through it. It causes way more of this to rain down on you. I need to grab that health because I'm just doing terrible on that stage already. Wow. Okay, well, there you go. Nice. Oop. I have a couple more runs that I'll be doing. One of them is going to be the bootlegs. The Mega Man games that maybe shouldn't have ever been made. They aren't fantastic. I'm going to be doing those one of these nights. And I'm also going to host kind of a game show format for just Mega Man content with some of the runners who are really good at these. We'll see if they can handle what I'm going to throw at them. It'll be funny. And more than that, we'll see if they can answer trivia too. If I played you Sparkman's song, would you know it's his? If I gave you 60 bosses to choose from, could you tell me it's him? We'll see how they do with that kind of stuff. Oh no. I was just thinking about how I should watch my step. What a silly way to die. First death, I think. X3 annoys me a lot with the backtracking and the mini-boss fights. I'll be going back and forth to get the 100% in this one. I do wonder if my route could reduce some of the backtracking, though. For example, if I kill the Hornet, I can you get the suit and not have to come back to Volt Catfishes. I think I will try to do that this time. Maybe do Volt Catfish a little later, because having to go all the way back through that stage just for the sub-tank is a lot. I'm not really sure what the sub here is weak to. Everybody uses Tornado. Everybody casual, anyway. Because it's really easy to do. But I think there is faster weaponry. They sent us back quite a ways here, did they? No, okay, we're right here. Not a big deal to die there. Just annoying. Boomer Quanger is a very interesting boss, but not when you bring his weakness. He does a lot of poison attacks that permanently disable some of your features for the remainder of your attempt on him. But if you hit him with one single choke shot, he can't do any of it anymore. Now he's just a guy who teleports around and gets scared when he sees a projectile about to hit him in the face. We don't really need to charge up here either. It's just bigger, easier to hit him with, but it wastes so much energy. This boss is one of the few where the weakness might be slower than just using the buster sometimes. Even if something else does more damage than... Oh, almost died there. Even if something else does more damage than the wind, it does get rid of his projectile, so it's easier for me in the shuffler. Wow. Pushing me around. Probably should use tornado there too. Oh well. It's almost done. Ow. Such a struggle with the spawning here. There we go. Being a bit stingy with the health drops, I sure could take one. Oh my. Magma Centipede. At any point here, I can go back to Will Gators and get my missing heart tank. It's just going to be a side trip, but I could do it after killing Flamestag. That jumps. The physics. Okay. Blizzard Buffalo. With any luck, this is enough health for him. Sometimes I screw up, though. That's what gets me, is his, yeah, his weird half charge that he does. I should have been more careful with it, keeping in mind that he might do that. Messes up all my timings. I don't know if I should use the weakness on Launch Octopus or not, because he's gonna hit me a bunch if I try it. I'm going to, I think. But it's so much easier to dodge damage here with the Buster. He really shoots a lot. And without turning the full shield on, can't really do and still do damage to him at the same time. He just takes so much damage from the bubble, it feels silly not to use it. Helmet. This one shows you hidden locations, sort of. Oops. Alright, take two. First boss in X3, let's get him. No reason to get held up by this game that bad. If I use the air dash, that I always forget I have, because of the other games not having it until, like, X2 gets it almost at the end of the run. If I use the air dash, his little sidestep thing won't catch me like it did. Oh my. I messed up my jumps there. There we go. One down. Love to see it. If it were 5, we'd be on track. Toxic Seahorse is the one who's weak to ice, but I don't think that I should do that. I'll do him later. Crushed Crawfish is where I go next, usually. Scissor Shrimper. And the reason I do that is because the mini boss in Tunnel Rhino stage. I will have to come back here for the suit hidden power-ups though. It's actually 2, so I'll have to come back to the stage anyway, so it makes sense to me to do it that way. Fully the crab time. So Crushed Crawfish can't really fight back. As for Crystal Snail, we're gonna bully him too with the magnets. The way this works is we keep him out of the shell as long as possible. We put one on the wall that he rams into. We force him to jump because he can't get to his shell. We kick it with the dash. And we just constantly push him around. Just rude nonsense to the poor snail. Let's go get the missing power-ups before I go to Ostrich. One's here. It's really just the 2 hard tanks, I think. Unless I'm mistaken. I've never been mistaken. Like, I have it pretty well into my head where I need to go here, so. Just this little bit of height is all I need to get this heart upgrade. Oh, that's the wrong stage. It's my bad. Need to go to Wheel Gators. Dinosaur tank. It's not that big of a deal. It's a really easy run, no damage taken. We're already to the point where I need to be for this. Since I can't damage scale up the wall, we can just do that and get it the way I think that it's intended. Now we are on the final Robo Master of X2. And I have everything up to this point. The Heart Tank in Ostrich stage is dangerous. Let's see if I can pull it off in one try. This game has a very interesting, I would call it a Nintendo Power secret. Because I don't know how else you would figure out even what this is up here. There's a couple of these in the game. This one is useful right now. If we hold the full power Silk Shot here, we will get instantly filled up on our tanks. Wish the other games had something like this, because I might be grinding a bit next one. Already topped off. Oh. Okay, getting this requires some very tight turning, which I failed to do, I think. Yeah. But we got it anyway. It's just a death. I could tell by the angle of my turn it was just a couple frames too early. That was a really good Launch Octopus fight. He only got me once or twice. But yeah, he does have that grapple attack you're talking about. If he grabs you, you're going to get shuffled right away because the iframes don't protect you from the damage, which will shuffle you as soon as you come back in. You won't be able to mash the way you're supposed to. He's not the only enemy that has an attack like that in the series. There's a couple of bats, maybe even in this game, that do the drain attack as well. And then, especially in Mega Man 7, anytime you get lit on fire, which unfortunately includes that awful Wily capsule fight, the really, really hard one, that also ignores iframes, and the vampire in that game does it too. He also grabs you that way. Oops. Alright, we're here, okay. Makes sense. I will need to kill Vile. But that's okay, we'll get him later. There was a door that can... I'll get him when I go to Vote Catfishes. But there was a door there that I could have used. I don't currently have his weaknesses. And I think that if you don't kill him with the weaknesses in this game, he doesn't actually die. I don't even know what killing him does. Like, what's the point if you don't have them? I'm not even sure. For Bit and Bite, if you don't kill them, you get a different stage. If you don't kill Vi, you get a really annoying stage. But I don't know why his weakness, what it does to that. Okay, we now have every single item in X2, so we're on Sigma and Wind Up for this game. I'm happy to entertain you at 4 AM with my bad X3 playing and 2 other games. Oop. Yeah, killing him is definitely good to do, in my opinion. I like it better, but I don't know what happens if you don't kill him with his weakness. So if you kill him with the Buster, I think nothing changes. Maybe the ending changes or something. This guy is very weak to the freeze, just like Spark Mandrill. He made himself immune to it there, though. We'll get him locked up in a second. Does it do any effectively anything at all to kill him with the Buster? Other than you just got to fight Vile for fun. I imagine he still shows up in the stage. It's been a long time since I've done that. I might have only ever done it once, actually, and determined that I don't like Vile and letting him go. Ultimately, I'm not going to be missing much in X1 here, despite saying it's any percent. It's just going to be the Heart Tank and Show Penguins, really, and bothering to get the Hadouken. Obviously, it's going to be more work than it's worth. The timing's a little strange, but just like Spark Mandrill, if you hit him right before his freeze ends, you can get a bonus hit on him. That's how you do Ostrich. We're out of Robot Masters in X2, officially. If I missed any item anywhere, the capsule that has the upgrade that I demand wouldn't be there. I can't think of a single time where that's ever happened to me, but if it did, I'd know right away. I missed my jump, but I salvaged it by taking some iframes to avoid the spikes there. I usually hang on the ceiling with the fire there. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oops, I let him grab me. I was trying to do something fancy. You can get him to stand still and just loop him trying to headbutt you over and over again if you just jump right in place. But I'll just kill him correctly instead. No tricks. I don't remember what they're weak to. That was silly. Nothing's immune to that, wow. Okay, this is the equivalent of the Vile fight from X1. Vile and... I can't do much here. I can't actually evade anything he's doing effectively. All I can do is beat him. he's guaranteed to take more damage than me, but evading his big mace, his ball and chain, that's not gonna happen. That's just not a thing. No way. He might decide not to hit me with it. Super unlikely though. It's very annoying. I like the upwards dash a lot. It's just a little strange. My big problem with X3, I think, is the enemies themselves. They're all very fancy fellas. They all do some strange evasion. Some of them take multiple lives to kill. They stand back up after you beat them. And a lot of the bosses are controllable, like this guy, in a strange way. If we can lock him up by just doing this. I don't know why, but this is how he dances. He just doesn't do anything else, as long as you stick with the rhythm here. Making him a free weakness upgrade for me against Neon Tiger and the mini boss in Tunnel Rhino. These three are all not so much Doppler, but the Bit Bite and Vile fights are all in my way in X3. I'm gonna let these two live. I'm gonna kill one of them with the Buster because I think their boss that they make is funny. No other reason really. I will kill Vile. We'll see him again in X8. Now is the question, who's next? I usually just do Tunnel Rhino at this point, and that's probably correct. I can go get the Buster upgrade, and then maybe I'll kill Hornet, and then do Volcatfish. That would make sense to me. It's a better boss order than I usually do. I can get Gravity and then go to Tunnel. I don't know. I'm gonna do this and then Gravity and then Hornet and then Volcatfish, and then I can reduce my my runbacks. Oops. All right. We're a little over an hour here, still working on some Robo Masters. Not very many, though. Pretty well into these games at this point. Ow. You like the Tunnel Rhino song? OC Remix has the kind of infamous Tunnel Rhino vocals along with this, but I actually like that one too. I don't remember a lot. If I were asked to identify the songs from Mega Man X3, that would be a weakness for me. I think I would be able to do almost all of the other 80 Robot Masters in the series, in the Mega Man NX series. I will go ahead and get the armor. It does take a bit. If I were better at Sigma, maybe I can practice sometime. I wouldn't need it, but I do feel like I should grab this big healthful armor up here. This guy is weak to nothing. He's weak to a couple of things, I guess, more than others, but it doesn't feel like it. Takes a lot of hits, even with what he's allegedly weak to. And I don't like wasting Cutter on him because that's the weakness for the boss, and I need a certain amount to be able to do it. Oh, I sure am coming into this fight with nothing. Oh good, he's not here. Okay. I thought he would be. Maybe next time. So Bit will appear in the next mini-boss area for X3. Ow. I need to watch it. On that game, I'm getting beat up. Big time. Come down here. This is a really nice weapon. It reminds me of the cutter in Mega Man 1, sort of. X3 has some good things going for it. One of them is the boss weapons. Oof. This is the mini-boss that I brought the weakness for specifically. Okay, violence down. We're done taking damage in X2 for a while. The next stage is the Surgy's Spike Trap. It's a really funny one to look at. X2 is my favorite in the X line. But when I look at the map of the next level, I shake my head. Capcom, you did it again. With the all spikes hallway the whole time, this time underwater. If you want to do it fast, there's a trick jump that you have to do that's very dangerous, where you have to hover above spikes and air dash that I usually don't do, but if you skip it, you have to wait for 8 seconds. So that's not fantastic either. Everything's normal so far, but then right after this, for the rest of the stage, spikes. I like the silk shot here for the devastation. Missed him a little bit. Paid the price. I almost got my armor here. Okay. A little too fast for the screen. Oh, I didn't make it. So the jumps I'm talking about that are risky are sliding under these missiles right here. Particularly this one. Because catching that missile while it's going upwards, that's the ticket. Doing that in one cycle is very dangerous. Oops, I don't want that. I was thinking about pre-charging the fire dash up here because it would come in handy, but if I take a hit during this, I'll pay dearly for doing that. Play it safe and do it the easy way. I messed up. Okay. Just thought I'd hit this with ice to almost certainly get health drop from it. Yeah, there you go. But very annoying to use because of the limit on it. You can only shoot 2, and if it decides to make a projectile that lands on the floor, it then becomes a spike and it stays there, and that counts against your limit. Conceptually, I love the lore of these woodpecker robots biting into a metal tree to pull out metal worms to throw at me as a weapon. Wow, he was really going for it, man. Alright, I dislike this boss, but who doesn't? Surges too. I'm gonna hit him with the blast to start, just to disable all his guns so I don't take 2 hits from those. 2 hits. Oh, I don't have enough. Wow. It didn't actually get charged. I played too well. I didn't take enough damage coming in, so now we have to use the magnet mines to finish these turrets off. Not a big deal, it's just a little slower. Tunnel Rhino. Not 100% sure what he's even weak to. I don't have it though. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, I would guess Folk Catfish maybe. The next time I fight him, I'll have the sword, so never use whatever it is. Oh, he caught me with the trick jumps. X3 is kind of on the board at this point with 3 down. If it's acid, I could have had that. Toxic Seahorse is not a big deal to go after. I think the reason I don't have it is for speed. It's about not having to go back to that stage. Because if I can get the Buster upgrade first, we can grab the armor upgrade that's above the surface there. so this time Bit will attack me. Oh, I didn't get to jump because of the slope. I might maybe get a game over in X3 here soon if I don't watch it. Maybe I should just take one. Oh, that's no good. This guy makes a reappearance in, I think it's Extreme 2 on the Game Boy Color. And he's even more annoying in that game. I've nearly got him though. Can't really miss this fight if you know how to do it. We're out of Robot Masters in X. However, there's a Vile fight coming up that's guaranteed to hit me so many times. A ridiculous number of times. Maybe 10? 10 shuffles for free from X coming up. That's the way it is. Not too much to be done about it. I will go pick up the sub-tank I missed, though, like I said. Just to guarantee I get Sigma on the first try here. Little gamer insurance. I'm going to fill up all 4 of those tanks. Looks good. 1.5 tanks filled already? That's pretty nice. Got more energy than I usually get, so it won't take too long. Something happens with the jumps on these that eats my dash, and I often fall to my doom here. So, good to see I pulled it off. That's our life count next 3. Yeah, it probably is worth a quick death. Or I did actually just die again. Just to make sure that I don't game over at the end of a stage. In these, at the moment, and it's probably a bug we're going to fix, game over does not trigger the swap. Losing a life does, but it doesn't count 0. So we have one error. We can fix it, just haven't yet. I need to make a note about doing that too, because all the other games in the shuffler do on Game Over Shuffle. So Mega Man, even though it was the first one added, is the last one to get that update. There we go. I was blanking on how to do that. With air dash and drill, we can acquire the Buster upgrade, which will let me use the gravity well to get the armor, and it will allow me to make the iceberg to get the armor, the ride armor upgrade in Toxic Sea Wars. If it weren't for those 2 things, and also the saber requiring it, like I said, I might skip this Buster. I don't really like it. weird. And I guess it works. I don't really have any major complaints about it. Sometimes it doesn't fire the way I want it to, and it screws me up. It's similar to the one in X2 without the potency, or the iframe ignoring. If you shoot the projectile with the other one that you have two of, you'll get that big spread shot. But it has to be fully charged, and the timing on that is confusing. It has 4 levels. Oh, I should have probably grabbed that. Based on the game over I took earlier. I don't think I'll take another one. Ooh. Surges, please. Stand still, buddy. Ow. Let's use the tornado and stop messing around here. Any damage taken here is just one less vile hit I'll have to take, so we don't want these pickups. Pretty radical skip you can do. I managed to pull it off. We can move during the dialogue. All right, the great punching quest begins. Oops. Surges is down. X2 is almost certainly going to be done 10 minutes before X1, which is going to be done 30 minutes before X3. That's what it's looking like to me at the moment. Not only is it nearly done, the boss rush is also faster in X2 because the uppercut's so good. The Dragon Punch is just a mighty weapon, and we're about to get it now. So every boss from this stage forward is going to receive that maximum damage. I screw up with these guys. There's a heart tank somewhere. I think it's further up. No bit. Could have sworn he'd show up here. Neon Tiger. The important thing here is to get the timing correct. Similar to Sting Chameleon, a little bit more difficult to pull off. His iframes are long. Another, I don't know, another really weird secret, but essential for me up here. All three of these games have a very strange secret like that. X3 has like 4 of them. I understand X3 is the least, but I have the good idea of how they work now. Basically, there are a bunch of sub-upgrades you can get. If you take a single one of them, you cannot get the best armor anymore. So you skip them. And also, I think you do need 100% of the items again. And you have to find this extra secret capsule in Sigma stages. And then there's the sword, which is a very confusing upgrade, but the sword is so good, you have to get it. To get that, you need Zero to die, but only in one specific place, and he only has 1 life for some reason. So careful where you take him out. I think we can go after Seahorse now. Makes sense. And then Hornet. Bolt Catfish. The other one. Actually, maybe I should do Gravity next, and then just Bolt Catfish last. Oh, almost died there. I was silly. Lost my footing. Ow. I think I'm good. I don't think I touched the spikes. I think I get hit by the enemy who weirdly respawned on me. I'm sure we'll see at some point here. I'm waiting for the mystery. Did I survive in X2? I don't believe that you need full health to get the capsule. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think that's true though. He's weak to ice. But we're gonna make sure that we kill him with the Buster here instead of ice, because he'll die forever if I do it the other way. So another secret. If you kill Bit and Bite with their weaknesses, you get a different stage, a different boss. If you kill one or neither of them with the Buster, you don't get that, and they are back, and that's what I'm gonna do here. I'll spare Bit. Okay, I did survive, nice. You do need full health. Shh, that's no good. Can I do it? I'm gonna have to take a death, I guess. I don't think there's any way for me to get a health if they did drop off these guys. Maybe I could get him to come down, actually. I should have tried that. That would have been funny. Unfortunately, capsule's not there. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. It would be funny if the first time I do that in, I don't know, ever happened here during this run. That's better. Let's see if that's the case or if I actually did just miss an item somewhere. Yeah, that is the case. Okay. That answers a question I wasn't sure about. Do you actually need full health to get these capsules? Apparently so. At least this one. Dragon Punch. It's very nice. It does something like 16 damage a frame. And that frame is important because it's not an instant kill. Sometimes, consistently on some of the bosses, you cannot actually kill them in one shot with that. Because I took a hit next to it, I'm not able to finish the boss up the road without wasting a sub-tank. I'm debating in my head if I care about that or if I should just beat him with his weakness Sweetness is fine. I think I'll use the sub-tank. Oops. With any luck, I won't even need it. I'm really far away from where I needed to be, but I got it. Okay, this is the upgrade I did not want to come back for. We need to go this way. Oop. Oh my. X2 is in a bad place. Need to get out of here. Alright. So, because it does so much damage, 2 or 3 frames is really all you need to catch with the uppercut. You can see the chunks it takes off. It probably does more like 8 or 10. So 3 or 4 frames is actually what you need. And you'll be lucky to hit some of these bosses with more than 1 or 2. A lot of them are very easy, like this guy. The biggest punching bag in the world. You cannot miss. If you walk in here and do the uppercut, he's dead. Like, I've never seen it miss. He's so big and he's right there in the middle of the screen. As a wind-up for just trying it out. But in the boss rush, there's going to be a couple fellas like Wheel Gator, Bubble Crab, Crystal Snail. Very hard to hit with the uppercut. They're tiny. They're too small. Speaking of punching bags, the boss rush begins in earnest here. I don't need full sub-tanks. The only thing I use them for in this game is the shortcut, which isn't necessary. I can fight Sigma without it. If he hits me, I probably only lost a little bit of health, so just any sub-tank energy at all is good enough. Unfortunately, in X, it will use the entire thing. That was really good. I'm very happy with that one. Who's next? This guy, if he's on the ceiling, you can get him, but normally he gets away with it like that, and you have to hit him twice, but he just does stand there, so you can hit him as long as you don't land on him with it, because you become vulnerable once you hit the floor, and you will take damage as soon as you can move again. Bubble Crab is probably the worst one for uppercut. Just cannot hit him with it at all. The snail is also an obnoxious one. I think it's easier to knock him out of his shell and then try to do it if you're going to try to do it. That's the way to do it. Nice. That tracker's looking pretty good now. Almost done with X2. This guy, if he stands still or jumps at you, nice uppercut chance. If he grabs the ceiling, that's good. If he decides to stand there and use his propeller shield attack, cannot uppercut him during that, so you have to wait. Jump over it, hit him. It's time for Bubble Crab. The way to get him with the uppercut is to jump over him and get him to jump into the air. A very dangerous thing. We'll see if I can do it. If you just run up and uppercut him, you won't kill him with it. Oh, that's bad. Yeah. It was a good shot, but I missed the uppercut chance there big time, unfortunately. I'll kill him with his weakness. I usually get him with at least one half of it, so that's a really bad Bubble Crab. But the rest of those fights went almost perfectly, I would say. So not too big of a deal. That enemy with its remote-controlled drone shots. It's a tedious fella. Oh my. Also scary up here is this pit that's coming up. Which I think is very mean. Here it is. I've died here more times than I can count. Trying to go too fast, not remembering there's a big bunch of spikes there. Toxic Seahorse's weakness is ice. Vile's finally ready to fight in X. Vile is kind of pathetic. He's for a war machine without his ride armor. He's weak to missiles and a couple of other things. And he just has 3 or 4 attacks that are all dodgeable. He's almost like an upgraded Sniper Joe. He doesn't really... I feel like the Sniper Joes in Mega Man 2 are more lethal than Vile is. No offense, Vile. Well, maybe a little bit. It's kind of a jerk. Since I couldn't land the uppercut on Bubble Crab, he's gonna hit me a bunch. Oh yeah, I forgot about Zero here. Right. I was getting too excited. Missed the cutscene. The hitbox on this enemy is large, so you have to be very careful with your placement of the ice, which I am short on for some reason. I must have wasted it trying to get that upgrade or something. Let's just do this. It's not the one I wanted, but I think it'll work though, actually. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna have enough ice to finish this. Didn't matter. I usually use Sting Chameleon to climb that hallway in X, and I have to use it twice. The rolling shield almost worked, but the turret destroyed it. It's hard to climb a hallway like that in the damage shuffler. Harder than usual. Let's do this stage. My only concern is, like I said, I don't know X's secrets in X3 super well. I'm assuming that I'm correct in believing the Vile stage is still accessible if I do Vote Catfish last. I think that's the case. If he's not, it'll be a bit of a pain. I'll have to do a different stage that I'm unfamiliar with. I don't think it'll be that big of a trouble, but it will be new to me. I might not be able to get the sword if that happens. I'm not sure. I got mixed up there for a second. I thought it was on X3 and was confused about what stage to go to next. But we're here on the Sigma Finals. Now Zero's in our way because I didn't rescue him. So he is one of the worst ones to uppercut. He is too small. Anytime you see Zero next to X, you'll see that X is like got to hold 2 feet on him. It's like a stark difference here. So that hitbox matches, unfortunately, his tiny stature. And I can't uppercut him at all. He never leaves the ground. You can hit him with it and do some damage. It would be faster if I pull it off at all, so I'm gonna try, even though I will take a hit. Oh, I messed up. I almost had it, I just didn't get the inputs in time. Well, he's weak to fire, and as much as he's weak to anything, it takes 2 damage instead of 1. And the fire in this game does an interesting thing where it crawls along the floor sometimes, and he'll get hit by either that or the main blast. Oops. Okay, I really need to use Think Chameleon in X there, unfortunately. I'll have to come back to this stage later too because of this. Yeah, these blocks go away later once Hornet stage is done. I don't know why they're here, but they are blocking a hard tank that I require. The other one is here. This guy, I think he's weak to Ray? Yeah, sure is. I don't like his thing, his magnet. Its purpose is to just ruin your inputs. It does it in a strange manner, which I'm never a big fan of when that's the way that they fight. And because of that, I prefer to just kill him outright with his weakness to simplify this. He'll be back, though, since the other one survived. I think he has 2 weaknesses. The other one might be Rhino. I don't remember what the other one is. I think all 3 of these optional guys have 2 weaknesses. Vile is weak to Ray and the Big Cutter. Thanks, Sting, for the absolute immunity weapon. This game has 2 shields. That was bad. Oop. That wasn't great either, to be honest, but it'll be fine. If X2's Sigma fight is pretty good, maybe the best one, but you do have to do 0, Sigma, and Sigma again in a row. Which is a bit of a burden. I missed! Ooh! Thanks, buddy. I don't know where he goes here. He decided that we don't need help. I'm gonna wait until I have the opportunity to uppercut Sigma. Might as well play it extra safe. There's a big window where he disappears, and then he swoops in, and you have about a quarter of a second to turn around and uppercut. That's the time to get him. Ideally, you can get him during any other part of this. He's obviously 10 feet tall, but if he would be so kind as to do that, right? Now we can heal up and try it. He's gonna land directly on top of me, and I have to... There it is. Phase 1 of Sigma. Phase 2 is easier, so Sigma's in bad shape, folks. The only thing with Phase 2 is that he immediately guns for you. He just runs right after you, so you take 1 or 2 steps back, and then uppercut. And it does take more than a few. I think it's because he has way more than the normal amount of health. 3 uppercuts for this guy. Should we watch the ending? I don't think we should, since we're trying to get a time here. So, X2 is gone, folks. It's done. Unceremoniously, it disappeared forever from the cycle here. It's just X and X3 now. Oops. .64 health makes a lot of sense. Bow Spider. I'm not fantastic at this fight because I don't identify the pattern fast enough when it gets to full speed. The thing here is that it always must turn, so it's going to go left and then it has no choice. So if you look at it long enough, you can figure out where it's going to go. I actually knew where it was going to go there, and I ran too far. So now I don't get to hit it. The other thing it does is summons little spiders randomly. They're pain to deal with. Especially with the shuffler. It's very confusing when I get hit by those. Oof. Going up. I believe it's just ride armor up here that I can't use. Yeah. Dang. More spiders. That's not good. More spiders. Oh no. Gravity Beetle. Brother of Kuwanger. Deep lore drop for you. I don't know if he's actually Maverick or not, in the meaning that he's gone crazy or whatever. I think he actually just wants revenge. It's been a while since I've read those. Two Robot Masters left in X3, so with an hour left in our estimate, and only 2 Robot Masters left in X3, I feel like we're pretty close to on point here. Feeling pretty good about my chances. Let's go to Hornet next. I've beaten Bit and Bite. I have to do Vile. There's that side quest. It's not long, but it is another boss, I guess, to do. Get him in Volt Catfish's area. Oh no! I jumped too far. I was thinking there was going to be more spiders, but I think there's a limit, it looks like, for how many a spider can make at once. I always forget exactly what's up there, but in the top right of that room, there's one of the capsules that we won't be taking, because it's a downgrade for me, actually. Side grade that will limit me later. Those spiders done. The thing you got to keep in mind with X, it's further along than it looks like, because it and Mega Man 1 are one of the few of the games in the series that have the bosses mixed in with the stage. There's no boss rush thing in either of those two games, so I've already beaten one of them. And even though it's still the same refight, Storm Eagle, for example, he's mixed into it so well that it doesn't really take as much time as it does in X2 to jump into the capsules and stuff. I always clear X2s faster because of the instant kill that I have, of course, but there's just a lot of time to load the fights. A lot of explosion time. This is the weird 3D shaped thing. I don't know what it's weak to. I feel like the Buster's what it might actually just be weak to, but X3 has a unique problem I'm going to run into where I have to go back to get a couple of items. More than usual. Even though I'm trying to avoid that here, there's still a couple that I cannot get around. One of them is the helmet upgrade and Heart Tank that are in Tunnel Rhino stage. I'll have to go back to Blizzard Buffaloes as well. That one, thankfully, is at the very, very beginning of it. And then, Bull Catfish has the armor. I'll have to go back to Crawfish's stage for, again, a Heart Tank and an armor upgrade. There's not really a way around that. There's 3 or 4 stops I have to make before I can even start the Sigma stages once I get there. I'm not doing very well there. I just need to use the sub-weapons and get over it here. I don't know what I'm doing. Storm Eagle's weak to this, and then we can use it again for the iframe up the wall to Rangdabangda, who's also weak to this. So there are some very cool speedrun tricks you can do with the Hadouken if you're watching the 100% run. That's a cool speedrun to watch. Some very, very advanced stuff going on in X these days. To get in here, we need the missiles, or the drills. I don't use the ride armor in this game at all. There are 4 of them. You can pick between them at the ride armor stations. It's so difficult to get them unlocked. They're alright. Like, I think if they were just normal ride armors lying around, I'd enjoy them a lot. But because of the way they're integrated into the game, I don't actually use them whatsoever. One of them shoots missiles. One's a punch bot like that one. There's a drill one, I think. MP room. We're done with the bit and bite fights. I guess they didn't like that people skipped the X Hunters in the second game, so they just force you to fight them in this one. Harassment mini bosses. Just gonna do this the easy way. I got hit right before I fired it last time. Hey, come back here. Don't have a ton of ammo. The nose always goes left first, and then switches to right. I should have been on the other side. Wrong weapon. Killing the nose first is a bit of a mistake. Now we have to fight like this. It's working. Sigma 3. Just knowing which boss is next here is a good bit of trivia. It's easy to forget which one of the bunch is going to come in this room. I feel like the Sigma stages in X3 aren't that long. Something about that game tells me that it's front-loaded difficulty, and I think that the hard part for me is over once I've gotten to the point where I'm at. So I always feel like I'm doing better than if it feels like I'm going slow. I have to remind myself that I'm not really doing that bad. 40 minutes should be more than enough to finish what's left in that game. That's about how long we'll have once X is done, I think. Ooh, he went for the punch. Scary. The animation of Mandrill being hit with the ice is so funny. Like I slapped him across the face. That was not good. But I have enough tornado left to do the rest of the stage, so whatever. Here's a boss who's gonna hit me almost certainly. Oh, I jumped. Should be able to lock this guy up. I'm not doing a very good job at that. And then it waggles around the whole screen in dangerous manner, so stay in the corners. Just keep firing. This thing shouldn't be able to move. That's more like it. That's what I expect to see. I'm not even sure what Blast Hornet's ability is off the top of my head. However, Gold Catfishes is incredible. I wish it was turned a little bit. The triangle is not the way I would orient it, but if the enemies are in position to get hit by the way it is a super good weapon. Let's go get it. And it will also allow me to get the Tunnel Rhino item, so that's why I had to wait this long. I hate those guns. Honestly, not sure how to avoid damage on them. Not 100% sure. File stage is more annoying since we're doing it late. It's like falling apart, and there's gonna be boulders raining on my head as a result of that. This elevator doesn't work because of that. I think it would normally work if I came here earlier. Hey, hey. Well, this went well for the fight that it is. Oh, almost. Running out of refights here. It's just Flame Mammoth left, I believe. Vile is weak to 2 weapons, and he has a lot of health in 2 phases. So I tend to need them. However, he is, if he had any skills at all, he's lost them. He's completely... I mean, this is all his rad armor can do, is punch the wall and make you fall off of it, so all you gotta do is jump over his head, turn around, get him, and run again. It's phase 1. Phase 2, I guess it's an upgrade to what he was doing in the next one, but it's not much of one. He throws napalm and then shoots his little standard machine gun that he's still got. I think he has one more thing that he does. I don't remember what it is. I need to make sure that Vile dies to the sub-weapon. If I fail, he'll survive and I'll have to do something strange. Maybe even deny me the armor up, the sword upgrade. So always make sure I win this fight when I come in here. D-Rex. Cool tank, missing its middle. It also knocks you around a bit. This big orb, you can slide under it. You can try to dodge it the hard way or just do that. I do not have enough cutter. I wasted it. That stinks. Couldn't tell you why this thing's weak to cutter. Logically, I have no idea why that would be the case, but it is. Nice clean fight. It's time for Sigma. But first, it's time to fill up the sub-tanks, which are... I think there are 3 of them are filled already, so I might not even need to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Make sure that X gets done, and we're just focused on X3. Maybe I'll pop off and win this with no damage taken, though. Could happen, right? Miracle. This is a bizarre way to collect energy, isn't it? Isn't it strange that this is what they went with? I feel like 3 sub-tanks is more than enough. I think I'm going to go for it with that. I really want to grind health here. The cautious player in me is disagreeing with myself. I'm just going to go. It'll be fine. If I do that badly with only 2 shots, like usually this is a problem because it's shuffling, not because I'm unable to do it. I think I'll be alright. This is 3 bosses in a row though, again, and the dog is not as easy as 0 is. We need to jump up the wall immediately. Bell got her. Does stuff like that sometimes. I'm doing terrible at the evasion part of this. Vile seems to be winning, but I got him. Let's make sure that I don't die here. I'm missing a lot of upgrades in X3. I'll just take a sub-tank, make sure I get out of here. There's still some more stage to go. I would have been fine. Just being cautious. You do way better dodging damage in that fight. if I'm not doing well in Sigma 3, I won't use my sub tanks. There's definitely a way to control Elgato better than I'm doing. Okay. That was really bad. Half a bar lost to Elgato. Sigma's got his phase 2 fight is very nothing. There's no way he's gonna get me here. But it does take some time, unfortunately, to kill him. If I take damage here, it's because I'm trying to kill him faster than is necessary. You can't really do a lot more than this. You could squeeze out a third hit if you're slick. I don't know how much time it actually saves though. Okay. 3.5 bars of health to do this boss. Let's get up there. The claw stopped at the worst time for me. Bad start. Oh, I'm gonna use the sub tank, I think. Oh no, lost my footing. It's a bit of a bouncy fight. Sometimes it takes me a moment to get the hang of it again. I'm just not good at it right now. I keep riding this up and get the heart tank that's up here. The two things to watch out for here are lightning coming upwards and slamming into the ceiling. And the latter, I don't really understand how you evade. Doing okay though. He's losing. Armor's up here. X is looking a little silly without it. This will make him look a lot more complete. Is there a boss here? No. There's no more mini bosses. We're good to go on X3. The problematic pickup is the sub-tank right here, requiring any of the right armors. They're all good. You just need the weight. But you won't have right armor at all unless you've already done Blast Hornets, which requires drill. So this is often one that I come back for. I'd much rather do it this way, I think. No problem. Definitely did not need 3 sub-tanks. X1 is complete. Gone forever. Just you and me, X3. Sigma stages and all. You think I have what it takes to beat this game in 30 minutes with my lack of skill on display? Oh, Catfish is weak to the drill, but in an annoying way that is just a time-consuming thing. He just kind of flops around and he has so many iframes. It wouldn't surprise me if I should be using the Buster here, or at least mixing it up. I don't think that fully charging the Buster does anything here either. No, it makes it even worse. Once he's half dead, it becomes even easier. Now we truly just stand here and fire it. When he takes damage in this phase, he goes back to the center. And since he's not leaving the center, this is all he does. Now I have to make a couple stops. I'll start with Tunnel Rhinos just to make sure that I don't miss anything. People don't like the helmet upgrade in this because it wastes time, but for me, in this environment where I'm mixing it up between a bunch of games, it's easier for me to verify I have them all when I can just look at the UI and it gives me a good notice about it. By the time I get the items, we'll probably have about 26 minutes left for Sigma's 3 stages. And the refights and Sigma. Which I will have the sword for. So, similar to X2, we'll cruise through the refights at least. For some reason, the answer here is Volt Catfish. Unusual, but I don't know why. It just makes the ropes fall. But there's no way I can get around having to come back to this stage. Now that I don't need to worry about taking damage, we're on our casual X3 run, part of this journey here. The final game always gets this treatment. And once again, we have the Volt Catfish full charge for the helmet, which I have to have, whether I like it or not. Blizzard Buffalo, Blast Hornet. Is that it? I think that might be it. No, there's one more in Crawfish. I gotta use the right armor to get it. I need that last letter. Once again, we need Volt Catfish's power. Here? Yeah. And then any ride armor will work fine for this, just... I think. This one will certainly work. If there's one that doesn't, it's not this one. You gotta punch a hole in the wall over here. Life ups, 2 of them. And I'll check the UI for a little bit and make sure it's good. But I think that is it. Luckily, both of these are at the start, so none of that running through the stage stuff. Physics, man. Okay, now what? Done. 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 Need that one. Yeah, it wasn't Blast Hornet, it was Gravity Beetle. That's what I meant. Blast Hornet unlocks this life up, and this is the last one, so now we can go. Those 2 boxes are gone now. I've got everything. I was dead on with 26 minutes left for Sigma 3s. I don't like the ceiling here very much. It's very spiky. Thanks, buddy. Oof, I need a better strategy for these areas. I think I might, maybe, need full health for this. They're being stingy. Maybe these enemies don't give you health there. Normally, health drops all the time with this. So this capsule gives you a whole bunch of stuff. One of them is auto regen, maybe? The most important one to me is double dash. I'm actually not 100% sure what the other ones even are, but there should be 4 of them if I'm not mistaken. The only thing to get now is the sword, which is in the next area. But first, God Car Machine Oinari. It's weak to Ray Splasher. Tries to grab you with the hands and slam you into the ceiling. This boss is kind of a pain with the shuffler on, but by itself, it can't actually outdamage me. The weirdest secret in this game, and one of the most important, is definitely the sword coming up. We need Zero to die to the mid-boss. I've been saving him for this one purpose. And I'm not sure, but maybe if Vile is alive, you can't do it. I'm not sure about that. That may or may not be true. And I'm scared to find out, so I've never tried. Because not having the sword would be a real nuisance. I want that. It's sort of obscured into the menu. I have no idea why they did this. They let you play as Zero, but only in the intro and one time otherwise. I've died to this boss before in the shuffler because it's one of the ones that grabs you and doesn't let go. So it gives me a little bit of stress coming in here, but there's zero threat here for Zero. He's guaranteed to win when you can shuffle out of the situation. For him losing here, for some reason, he gives you the sword, which is the super weapon of this game. Now that we have it, we can easily kill everything that gets in our way, including Sigma. I don't think there's any exceptions. I guess this thing that has 2 lives would be one of the few possible exceptions you could even make. Ow. For that, though, we have to do the snail ride, which is very silly. This couldn't be anything else, right, guys? I wonder what the fast way up here is. It's been a while since I've seen it. There's gotta be a way. If people were trying to solve this game for speed, this hallway has to be solved. Falling here is an absolute disaster. You have to start this whole thing over. That snail over there is a red herring. Don't bother with that one. You want this one. The hallway is clear. I probably like. I want to learn them, but I tend to not speedrun. I tend to do the shuffler race. And if you have to take any damage at all, then it's not going to be viable for it. So I've not really looked into it. This boss takes 2 sword swings. Almost all of them do. Ow. Oh, I missed it again. You lose the charge pretty easily. Did I miss again? Oh, I'm doing so bad. There. Weird hitbox. Forgot where it was exactly. That was, Bolt Cura Jail. The next stage is boss rushes and Doppler, who he actually can heal through the sword if his heal is on, interestingly. So you have to be careful with when you hit him with it. Not a huge problem though. Sigma 2 was the difficult stage, I think. It's the one with the snail climb. The one where you have to worry about whether you get 0 or not. This one is almost entirely just the boss rush. And we'll be using the sword on all 8 of these guys. Aw. Need to make sure I land the hit. It's very important. Ah. All the particle effects make it hard to see. My sword's ready. I would say the uppercut is easier to use. If there was a way I could just combo in the sword, that wouldn't be true, but it's not really the way it works. It takes a quad charge. At least you don't need full health to use it. So in that way, it's easier to use. I stand there and take the hit. "15 minutes. I feel like it's gonna take 10, but I might be overestimating my ability here to get through this fast. Oh, he's going immune. Oh no. Five left? This is a nice easy one. I don't care that he's doing that, really. Makes no difference to me. Yeah, it would be nice if they give me more health. He blocked it. What a jerk. Didn't remember he could even do that to the sword. Did it again. It's like I'm hitting him with a baseball bat, the way that works. It just kills him. The screen pauses and says, hey, nice. We're gonna have about 10 minutes left to do Sigma, I think, and it's not gonna be that hard to do it. I will collect some sub-tank energy on the way in. Fairly easy to do it in this game, because the ice works for grabbing it. Oh, catfish. Oh, I gotta be more careful with my sword, for sure. On Sigma especially, it's gonna be hard to land it. I'm trying to think if if this is the last guy or not. I'm not sure. I lost track of my count. Brave. Looks like that's it. Alright. Just Doppler left, who is not any harder than any of the guys we just beat. He's also weak to the sword. So is Sigma. We can have the sword preloaded for him here. The only thing is, make sure he's not healing when you hit him with it, because he'll grab a full heal off of the sword. And I think he can even defy death if you do it wrong. That is his heal phase right there. Unfortunately, I should have waited to make sure he did that earlier. Ah. Lost my sword attack. It's being a jerk. There we go. Good for you, Doppler. Wonder if I can pause during their explosion. I'm left with about 8 minutes to charge up and beat Sigma. 4 sword swings is what we're looking for. Not a whole lot of stuff there, but there is a little bit of a you have to play it cutscene after that I'll do. Clock doesn't stop until we hit the top. It's it needs to be carefully done. You have to watch out for the enemy attacks here. But there's a lot of energy to be had here. Pretty much every single one of them will drop a big health container if you hit them with the ice. Sometimes they drop the tiny ones, but I think it's guaranteed to be health regardless. It's easy to get hit here, and if you do it wrong, you'll get stuck on the ice, not being able to fire anymore. Oh, we're still missing one. Wow. Further behind than I thought with that. Just to make absolute sure I win this, I'm gonna fill them all up. I'm good with that. Let's go. Sigma has to be hidden in his tiny little head. True of both phases. Funny on the second one because it's radically smaller than the body he uses. But he likes to do that. He likes to have his tiny head on huge tanks. Phase 1. This is a very hard Sigma fight without this sword. I'm not very good at it, and the second phase has a very shuffler, dangerous attack where he gravity beams you, and it's a tricky thing to persuade to miss. You have to lure it. I don't like running around with half health on this part because of that. I think I'll be good with it being the only game, but I'm going to heal anyway. We have that mostly full tank to use. Can't really hit him from the back very well. I think it can be done, technically. There's the HP sucker attack. Not really a threat in this environment, but normally I'm more intimidated by it. It does so much damage. All right. So you can climb and avoid damage entirely in this part, and I normally would in the shuffler just because it saves time, but there's a chance you can get crushed by the screen, a very small chance, if you get hit the wrong way. So I'm just gonna let him hit me a bunch on the way up. We're just gonna chill in the lava. Get that auto regen. It's because he tries to bite you that it scares me a little bit. Alright, that's the end of X. Our time is done. We made it with 5 minutes to spare. 4. Close. I could have done better at X3. I even game overed once. But yeah, like I said, I can beat X2 in like 45 minutes. X in 55-ish in this, which isn't a great time, but for shuffling it's a little... It is decent. And then this one takes me like an hour and 10. So this is definitely the one to improve on. I think I can do it faster. I could learn some tricks. I could solidify my actual order for how I go about this, but I think what I did here was mostly correct.
Absolutely awesome job, Smite. Wow. I knew it was going to be an awesome run, but that did not disappoint.
It's really annoying when there's a bunch of games in here. When it's just 3, it's just a fun ride.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, usually the one I've seen has just been with the regular series, so yeah, it's a lot for sure. But yeah, I mean, the X games are a lot more like crazy on their own, like, or at least more complex than the other ones. So yeah, focusing on just a few seems like it's a lot more manageable.
Yeah, it's really weird to switch between consoles too, because if you're trying to do X5 and 6 boards, 5, they're all PlayStation games, and then you have to deal with SNES mixed with NES and Game Boy. Like the shuffler could be all-encompassing. It could just it's a big switch to jump between them, and I think the NES ones especially, because Rush works differently in every single one of them. Like in 2, it's not even Rush at all, and then 3 has that incredible Rush that flies in omnidirectionally.
Mm-hmm.
4 is the one people think it is. 5 has like you can jump off of the spring twice, and you have to know going in to which one of them you jumped into right away, which one you're using. There's a lot of confusion there because of the shuffler. I think the NES ones are harder than this.
That's fair, yeah. I didn't really think about that.
My confusion with X is what kind of air dash do I have, and that's not really a problem most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, thank you again. Got any quick shout outs before we end the stream, at least for now?
The only thing I've got going on is the Trans Am charity event on Memorial Day weekend that we're all organizing on Ty Tuesday's channel.
Awesome.
We're gonna raise some funds and do some crazy stuff. I have a secret project that I'm not talking about that should be ready by then, I hope, that I'll be doing.
Excellent. Well, I wish you luck with the charity stream you're working with as well.
Thank you.
But yeah, just a heads up for anyone who is maybe not been following what we're doing. So this is Mega May. We are raising support for a brand new Mega Man centered event taking place in Seattle, Washington, the area, in 2027, in celebration of the 40th anniversary of Mega Man. It's a new thing. We're trying to fund it so that we can actually do it, and it can't happen unless, you know, we get if enough fans can come together, purchase some virtual tickets, in-person tickets, and whatnot through the Kickstarter. So it's really essential that, you know, if you're interested at all, or maybe you're interested but you can't make it, you could always like just donate a little bit, or, you know, share it to friends that, you know, may be interested in checking it out. We're super appreciative of all the help anyone can give, and especially all of our runners throughout the month. The fan support has been absolutely incredible, and it's been awesome seeing everyone do their thing this month. It's absolutely awesome seeing everyone come together. Yeah, so we will be going on a rerun break for a good long while, actually. We'll be back at 4 p.m. Eastern. We got a couple games from Peter Afro, Nazubi Man starting off, and then X7 Wrong Warp. Should be good stuff. But again, we'll leave you with some reruns to drift off to sleep to. And hope you guys have a good morning, at least some of your day. And we'll see you soon.
Hey, see you later.